another episode of Drive Talks, and we have Deepthi Ravichandran over here. She is the dance movement therapy facilitator. And Deepthi, I'm going to dive right in.
Yes, let's go.
This episode is called Flowing with Freedom. And I always believe that freedom starts when our body actually feels safe and we feel like we belong over there. And of course, it's in our own skin, right? So how would you define the word flow? Because we spoke quite a bit about it when it comes to dancing and movement.
Lovely. So, flow did come up a few times in our earlier talks. So, what is flow? Both in dance movement therapy and in sports psychology, flow is defined as a state of complete absorption or what we call embodied immersion.
Yeah.
In the sense,
you're completely attuned.
You are with your body and mind in the same harmony state. So,
This makes me remember an episode in Big Bang Theory where Sheldon Cooper actually ends up saying, I am the ball, and when he's bowling and there's a bowling league happening. So it makes me, the embodied and the attuned actually makes me remember that.
It's very interesting you bring this up because I have an exact same analogy from a very popular movie recently. So in the F1 movie, we all saw that how he talks about, I feel like flying.
Yes,
there is a moment where he's waiting to fly.
Vision is blurred.
Where everything tunes out, everything goes out of focus, and your being and what you are doing is all that you feel.
Absolutely.
And that state of flying is what flowing is. And how do you get there is, like I said, it's when your body, breath and your action, everything come together
in alignment
and are tuned together. And absolutely, when you find your flow is when both the body and mind find that freedom. So for anyone who's experienced it, any performer, any athlete, any dancer who's done their peak performance, and peak performance usually happens when you are in this state of flow because you're
in that alignment. And I think this is where that fear of judgment. I think when we don't have that fear of judgment, we're not thinking about impressing someone else or anything else for that matter, and that's when we're in alignment with our body because our body is doing what it knows and it's trained for. And I feel like this is where a lot of athletes come to me complaining that they're able to do really well in training, but during competition they are not able to. And this struggle, I think, happens because of this misalignment, like you mentioned. There's a lot of judgment either from themselves, so there's this overthinking or they're thinking of someone else. I think that happens, isn't it?
Absolutely. So there's one thing, a very simple thought that I wish people started practicing, although it's easy to say, easier said than done. But when athletes or performers stop working or training under pressure and move to a state of just being present. So from pressure to presence is where you need to aim to move towards, because when you are just present in the moment and just let your body and mind, because you've trained and you've practiced for that exact moment. So when you allow that to happen.
In fact, I'm going to actually take it one step higher, okay? What if people can go from a state of pressure to play? Because I think play is another thing where, again, from a very psychological safety perspective, play has been spoken about in a very, in a very therapeutic manner.
Absolutely.
And I think play also brings out the best in people because they're very, it's not like they're not attentive, but they're enjoying, they're having fun, right? Do you think there's a way that movement or dance can take them to a state of joy or play, removing that pressure?
Absolutely. I remember, in fact, from your book, Minds in Motion, you spoke about how when you enjoy the game that you're playing or the action that you're doing, that element of play keeps the joy, the fun in that process, which means you're going to do better. So absolutely, through movement and dance, how do you bring in that? there is this technique called improvisation that people use both in theater and dance.
Yeah.
Is where you go and start moving without
Yeah.
a pattern, without any choreography.
Yeah.
And when you start allowing your body
Yeah.
to just explore and experiment, it could just be random, silly movements. So, as adults, the first thing that happens is that you start judging yourself, right?
Yeah, we need to do this right. We need to hold the bag
Yeah,
like this.
so when you look at a kid, the kid is
Yeah.
having fun. They
Yeah.
don't care about how their body is moving, if their arms are, if there's someone looking at them saying, oh my god, this movement is
Yeah,
silly.
yeah.
So when you allow that judgment to go out and bring that inner child that everyone is talking about, right? That childlike aspect in you
Yeah.
into your movement,
Yeah.
into being curious, into being explorative.
Yeah.
Because over a period of time, we spoke about interoception. There's something called proprioception.
Yes.
Where
The
you
balance,
start
right?
balance and posture, and you start doing actions without
Yeah.
even thinking about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like typing into your phone without looking.
Yeah.
Walking,
Yeah,
stairs,
yeah.
everything, all of that is trained movement.
Correct, correct.
So our body is kind of, it can function. You sometimes go to a place without even thinking about the direction.
Exactly.
So when you're tuned like that, to cut that
Yeah.
and to come into a state of
Break state is what we
is
say,
exactly
right? Yeah.
is when you start challenging your body,
Yeah.
and when you allow to have fun with
Yeah,
it without any goal.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that aspect of movement and dance,
Yeah, yeah.
that curiosity element, if you can bring in, I'm sure play
Really helps, yeah.
comes into
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
And that is a topic by itself, just how do you use play as a technique
Yeah.
into working with your body.
Correct, correct,
So,
correct. That's true. Very
yeah,
true. Very
keep
true.
that curiosity alive, and allow yourself to explore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think, off late we've been speaking, of course, a lot about movement and all of that, but I think people don't know how they really feel when after this entire thing is over, like when they feel free, rather. And I think a lot of people don't know what it is to feel free, so they actually don't even try because they feel they're okay being in this state. So, for example, let's say an athlete is anxious. They think that anxiety is making them perform well. Whereas you can actually perform well without so much of anxiety. It can be a little better. So can you tell me what would it feel like for the body to feel free again?
Lovely, great question. So let's begin with, how does the body feel when it's not free?
Tensed up.
It is holding tension. It is
Yeah.
holding a lot of
Yeah.
rigidity. in
Correct.
it, right?
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of our body also. Like you said, we somewhere get
Carried
comfort.
away, yeah.
We get comfort through structure.
Mm,
And structure is in
Yeah.
the known,
yeah.
in the things that we know how to do. You know how to stretch, you know how to practice and train, and the drills,
Yeah.
they're so certain.
Yeah.
So you feel that the only way through this is by repeating what is known over and over again.
I think that also depends because it's also because of the chaos in the world, right? Because there is so much of chaos and so much of uncertainty. People like to just be comfortable with that structure, that rigidity that you spoke about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, yes, there is a certain amount of comfort that we get through it, which is good.
Yeah.
But then what happens is, when you find comfort outside of that structure, outside of what is known, what we know to be the way it is,
Yeah.
that feeling of being free in the body is probably what people very easily say, I'm at peace, right?
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing. It is a meditative state almost for
Yeah.
people who practice meditation, because your breath, your expression, your emotion, and your entire body is in alignment.
Okay, I'm actually getting something in my mind as you say this. Maybe imagine if you're driving a car and the wheels are not aligned, right? So that's probably what happens when you're not feeling free,
yeah.
because everything is moving in opposite directions. And then when you are feeling free, maybe everything is aligned, so everything actually is, you're actually performing in a high level, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You are, like I said, we are at peak performance.
Yeah.
Your body naturally flows through it without anticipating or without planning for the next move. You start trusting your instincts.
Correct.
Because I think you're very instinctive when you are when your body is free.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you start to observe everything. You're highly aware.
And you're able to trust that instinct also.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
start listening to the body, which we spoke about earlier, right?
Yeah.
So all of that increases,
Yeah.
the external noise, everything
Yeah.
shuts down, and you are truly able to take a call in the present moment.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's what freedom feels like.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.